The Tommy Campbell Show. From Donald Trump's Cole Trophy to denying the science around emissions and RFK Jr. telling people to eat real food while reminiscing about taking powder trips on toilet seats, those whose decisions affect public health cannot stop embarrassing themselves while pretending to be serious. Pollution doesn't care about borders, nor do diseases or disinformation, or the real food grok chatbot that's telling people fat is slippery so it won't clog your arteries. There was plenty of stupid this week, but first here's JD Vance of the Milan Winter Olympics desperately trying to appear as if 65,000 people aren't booing him directly into the permafrost. Networks tried to mute the audio for the folks at home, but the rest of the world heard it loud and clear. The suffering is just fantastic. He looks like a man who just got a 2 a.m. text from Erica Kirk saying it's over and she's keeping the futon. Happy Valentine's Day. My kid came home from school with nearly as much candy as Halloween. Like, when did this become a thing? It used to be you handed out cards, maybe you got a few cinnamon hearts or the ones with the messages on them, and now he's got a big bag of chocolate and candy. You know, I'm happy for him. He's excited about it, but it just shows how things escalate over the years. Now, speaking of junk food.
The newest fighter in the war on processed food is the face of realfood.gov, Mike Tyson. How did you settle on somebody who is most famous for eating Evander Holyfield's ear?
You know, it was really serendipitous. The two guys, Brett Ratner, who helped produce the ad, had a lifelong friendship with him. And
if you caught that there, yes, the initiative's big Super Bowl spot was directed by Brett Ratner, the same Brett Ratner who just finished the low-rated, money-losing Melania Trump grift movie. For a high-profile Super Bowl spot like this, a director typically commands a fee anywhere from $500,000 to $1 million for a few days' work. So while Trump's ridiculous illegal tariffs make life more unaffordable, there's still a lot of money laying around to put a blacklisted director behind the camera. Subscribe. This is the sewage swimmer who sees a dead bear cub on the side of the road and thinks, we should have a picnic. The administration has replaced decades of nutritional science with a 6-page PDF. The manual for my IKEA nightstand has more details. His guide crowns protein as king and directs federal agencies from school lunches to prisons to prioritize red meat and saturated fats while ignoring woke concepts like fiber or environmental impact. The promos for this are ridiculous. RFK Jr. actually posted an image of himself with Mike Tyson's face tattoo. Like, he's going for warrior, but honestly, he looks more like Stu from The Hangover Part 2. It's incredibly ironic for a guy with a history of addiction to choose a look that for most represents the morning after a blackout you'll regret for the rest of your life, but this guy doesn't seem to have many regrets.
And I said, I'm not scared of a germ. You know, I used to snort cocaine off of toilet seats.
Even Don Jr.'s watching that clip thinking, maybe get like a CD case or something. It's gross, Bobby. This is the person that's guiding the health of you and your children. Fast forward to now, and there's a grok chatbot on the official site that's been caught telling users saturated fat can't clog your arteries because fat is slippery, claiming seed oils are a bigger threat to America than nuclear war, and advising people to skip toxic sunscreen and instead toughen up their skin with coconut oil. It's basically an AI trained exclusively on the comments section of a Joe Rogan podcast. Meanwhile, RFK Jr. spends his time calling the FDA's war on raw milk a crime against public health. Just this month, on February 4th, state health officials confirmed a newborn baby died from a listeria infection after their mother drank raw milk during pregnancy. While this administration is busy making measles great again, filming black and white Super Bowl ads with Mike Tyson and fighting pasteurization like it's the deep state, families are paying the price. It turns out real food doesn't mean much if it's literally fatal.
I've been coming 43 years. I still don't like going to meetings. There's always someplace I'd rather be. I'd rather stay in bed with my wife. I go to an early morning meeting. And but I go every day because when I go, the rest of my life works. And for me, it's like brushing my teeth. I don't look forward to brushing my teeth. I don't enjoy the sensation.
Yeah, we got the Make America Healthy guy saying he doesn't enjoy brushing his teeth or the sensation. I think we can all agree that a clean mouth feels excellent and it's good for you. Okay, flossing can be a pain, and that's why I got like one of those cheap battery-operated water flossers for like $30. I love it. I'd rather be lying in bed. Yeah, I bet this guy wears jeans in bed. If you want health advice in 2026, don't ask a chatbot, don't ask a guy with a face tattoo, and definitely don't ask the guy who keeps roadkill in his trunk. Ask a doctor while they're still legally allowed to mention the word science.
Than me, and I'm proud to officially name the undisputed, when did this come out, Mr. Speaker? The undisputed champion of beautiful, clean call. We have to proceed. Always, I don't use the word call. You know, it needs a PR job because
Confused, slurring, and well, as Gavin Newsom put it, the sundowning starts earlier every day. I mean, Trump's now at the stage where his Secret Service detail isn't sure if they should be protecting him from assassins or from a particularly steep flight of stairs.
Sir, to show our appreciation, the trophy says the undisputed champion of beautiful, clean coal. Thank you.
You know Trump's trying to hold one in there while lifting it up thinking, I wonder where the batteries go in. Is this a toy for Eric? Look at his face. He's holding that bronze coal miner like it's the rare Pokemon he caught on Epstein Island. He probably thinks if he rubs it, a genie comes out and grants him 3 more years of redactions. The award was from the Washington Coal Club. While the name sounds like a local bowling league for a bunch of fellas named Cole, it's actually a lobbyist front. The man handing the trophy was James Grech, CEO of Peabody Energy, the largest coal company in the U.S. And minutes before accepting the trophy, Trump signed an executive order directing the Pentagon to buy billions of dollars worth of energy from coal plants for military installations. It's not an award, it's a thank you note from an industry that just hit the taxpayer lottery. Trump repeatedly praised beautiful, clean coal. But as scientists have pointed out for decades, clean coal is an oxymoron. Coal isn't clean. He's just trying to give it a makeover with an adjective like perfect phone calls. As if he repeats it enough, you'll fall for it. Makes me think of the pork campaign. Pork, you know, the other white meat. This marketing move successfully associated pork with chicken and turkey, but the USDA and medical researchers still technically classify pork as red meat. Clean coal is the ultimate branding scam. It's like selling diet lard or non-judgmental in-laws. It doesn't exist. Trump's White House is starting to look less like an office and more like an episode of Pawn Stars. It's basically a high-end participation trophy system for billionaires. These aren't awards, they're tickets. If you want a tariff break, a military contract, or a seat at the table in 2026, you show up with something shiny, heavy, and a title that starts with undisputed champion. Less than 24 hours after getting his trophy, Trump was trying to stay awake while standing up. That's a new one, and I hope it begins to happen more frequently, because I don't know what will be more fun to see, Donald falling down or the people around him not bothering to catch him. Declaring CO2 safe is like declaring that gravity's just a suggestion, so go ahead, jump off that building. It doesn't change the law of physics, it just makes the landing a lot more awkward. They're basically telling us that smoke is the scent of liberty. Is this the next dump fragrance? To top off the absurdity, the administration has introduced a new coal mascot named Coalie to promote the industry to kids. You know, that thing you tell them they'll get in their stocking if they're bad. It's actually really cool. It's a literal lump of coal with googly eyes and some protective gear. Kids are supposed to be pumped about a dirty dying rock with a happy face. Put it on a sticker for your asthma inhaler, Billy. Coal rocks. This is basically like the Pet Rock Black Lung Edition. All right, kids, go play with the toy that comes with a pre-existing condition. This thing is about as healthy as Mike Lindell's favorite Pet Rock. Now, the thing is, this is just the latest distraction from the Epstein files. Between the googly eyes and the toxic dust, Team Trump has officially launched one more thing that probably shouldn't be within 500 feet of a school.
I'm not a big fan of those crazy windmills that are all made in China. You know, they're made in China, but not used by China. Let's look for a couple of wind farms in China, see if you can find one. They sell us those things for fortunes, but we don't do them anymore. Have we done any this year, Doug?
China is the undisputed wind champion with triple the capacity of the U.S. In 2024 alone, they generated enough power to run the entire UK twice over. There are nearly as many turbines spinning in China as there are mentions of Trump in the Epstein files. There's a lot. And contrary to the export-only myth, they keep 95% of that hardware for themselves. But what about the birds, Tom? Because Trump says they're killing the birds. Well, he also calls them windmills, a completely different thing. Trump acts like these things are just like sky blenders for bald eagles. We have to stop them. It's a liberal Vitamix in the sky. While turbines do kill about 1 million birds annually, cars kill up to 80, pesticides kill 90 million, but the real bird assassins, cats, yeah. Domestic cats kill nearly 1 billion birds a year. They are savages. The 2 outdoor cats on our road bring dead birds to my son when he's playing out front like they're working for Uber Eats. Here you go, boys. Get out the sidewalk chalk and draw an outline around this one while I go nap under a parked car. If Trump actually cared about the birds, he'd be declaring war on Garfield instead of pushing that awful lie about Haitians eating them. Personally, I love cats, so I'm just glad he hasn't pivoted to going after them yet.
Bad Bunny, bad performance of the Super Bowl halftime. We are still investigating this. There's a lot of information that has come out about the lyrics. I saw the halftime show and was switching back and forth with the TPUSA halftime show. The lyrics, from what we have seen from Bad Bunny, are very disturbing. And if it holds true that I don't speak fluent Spanish, okay? I know how to ask where the bathroom is, but these lyrics, if it is true what was said on national television, we have a lot of questions for.
I can't believe this is actually real, especially when we had Pam Bodney trying to pivot to the Dow this week, complaining that a pedo investigation isn't important, and these wet noodles are losing it over a halftime show demanding an investigation. First off, love that he says he was switching back and forth, couldn't even commit to this MAGA-based show, but the zingers that he didn't understand it but thinks it was really bad. Look, they don't care what was said in Spanish. The problem was that it was said in Spanish. The album versions of Bad Bunny songs aren't exactly all TV safe. Same with many bands, so we swapped out a few of the lyrics. And for the record, here's some of Kid Rock's lyrics to the song Cool, Daddy Cool. Young ladies, I like them underage. See, some say that's statutory, but I say it's mandatory. Yeah, those lyrics are bad, and so was the much-hyped Turning Point USA All-American halftime show featuring Kid Rock jumping around in shorts. I said nobody was going to change the channel or even know where to find it, and even Donald Trump spared the crowd at his resort from it. And this is the guy that allows his whiny son's makeup lab explosion survivor wife to do her Tom Petty karaoke in the ballroom. Not tonight, Laura. Donald let everyone take in the Bad Bunny performance that was impressive, attractive, quite hot, and touching with a great message. A shout out to all the Americas and surprise appearances by Ricky Martin and Lady Gaga in English. So yeah, it wasn't all Spanish. We really enjoyed the spectacle, the most watched one in Super Bowl history. So even with Toilet Paper USA's attempt, they didn't exactly make a dent. It left Kid Rock making the rounds, making excuses for his weird taped out of sync performance.
Yeah, so it was out of sync. And actually, my DJ, who actually raps that song with me, he was not lit up. He's coming to Nashville tonight, flying in, and we're going to do that live in my living room, and I'm going to post it tomorrow to show people exactly how this works. I'm jumping around the stage like a rabid monkey, rapping my song, and I'm taking breaths, and my DJ's filling in the other parts of it, and it was I even told him when I saw the rough cut, I was like, you guys got to work on that sync. It's off.
He keeps saying it was out of sync, and that was a problem, meaning they had recordings of him that he was dancing along to and recordings of his DJ, and they still couldn't get it right. But you got to just love his attempt here to prove himself.
So they don't have that footage. Now it's extremely difficult for them to line up the sync. Could have been done if we had more time. I'm confident they could have got it right. I only got to see one edit, and I didn't think it was the end of the world. I saw what it was doing. The mic's coming down, the sync was off. Because when we're rapping it, that song takes so much energy. You've seen me, people have seen me do. I'm flipping mics. I'm jumping around like a rabid monkey on stage, still trying to at 55 years old. And so me and Freddie are like this. I'm like, and this is for the questions that don't have any answers. The midnight dancers and the topless dancers. The gang, the freaks, the cars packed with speakers. The G's with the 40s and the chicks with beepers. The northern lights and the southern comfort. And it don't even matter if your veins are punctured. All the crackheads, the critics, the cynics. All my heroes in the methadone clinics. All you bastards in the IRS. It's for the crooked cops and the cluttered desks. It's for the shots of Jack and the caps of meth. The half pints of love and the fists of stress. It's for my hookers all tricking out in Hollywood. It's for my hoods of the world misunderstood. I said it's all good. Yeah, and it's all in fun. Now get in the pit and try to love someone. Boom. So he's filling in those words for me so I can boom, bang my head, keep going and carrying on. Now, when I'm doing that, you see me, I'm all over the stage. Ooh, I'm flipping the mic. I'm down here. I'm over here, back.
That cartoon bit at the end gets me. And if you listen, this was the song he did. And you got crooked cops and hookers and all this stuff, okay? In English. So I don't know what they're complaining about Bad Bunny for. Like I said, it's just the fact that he was speaking Spanish. Now, he claims his DJ was there that raps the song with him, just like chimes in with a couple words here and there, but that they never cut to him, which is bananas or BS, and that it was synced wrong. It just doesn't make any sense that he's making the case that it was hard to time with this guy's few words with like whatever it is that Kid Rock does. I go to a lot of concerts and have a lot of talented friends that are musicians, and actual bands have instruments, and they all come together in time and in tune. Don Henley drums and sings, Billy Corgan can shred and sing, Geddy Lee plays the bass and hits every note, and this guy is saying he needs a few words filled in so he can jump around and take a breath. It's ridiculous, and the best thing about Kid Rock's proof he can do it video is he's clearly reading his own lyrics. Here, you could see, because there's no camera there, he keeps looking back, and you could see him break the focus and read. Bad Bunny did it all live with some pretty crazy choreography, from the Human Trees getting more yards than the Patriots to Bad Bunny going up a pole, not the Lauren Boebert type. And yes, I understood bits and pieces of the lyrics and would have enjoyed it more if I were fluent in Spanish, like fully admit that. But that was also good motivation to get back on it. For me, the real excitement was seeing the Seahawks win. I swear my ears are still ringing. It's incredible how loud kids can be. Seeing my son's enthusiasm and sharing those moments with him were totally worth the hearing damage. Now, there were 1 million people at the victory parade, including us, and I gotta say, it was all love. Like, I get a little worried with insanely big crowds, but people were cool. It was just fantastic. Now, when I shared the clip of JD getting booed, I said it was one of the favorite clips of the week, and the truth is, my favorite clip of the week is actually this. Sam Darnold and Kenneth Walker on the teacups at Disneyland, just having a chat. Oh, it's fantastic. A week ago, another one of those that Trump pardoned thought it would be genius to record his crime, vandalizing a very important ice sculpture. Was this a Shawshank situation? Could Jake not handle the real world? And he's trying to go back to prison because this is a felony since it was damage to property in the first degree. The sculpture was over $6,000, so he could see a maximum sentence of 5 years or 10 grand or both. I asked you to caption this moment of Jake nutting himself, and he didn't disappoint. Who needs preparation H when you have ice? Taking F ice to a whole nother level. Mr. President, you promised it wouldn't hurt. Where's the top of the S? Oh my God, so deep. One interesting thing about the court document is that Jacob is his middle name. His first is Edward. Yes, another member of the Rafael Cruz, J.D. Hamill Bowman Club, against people being called what they want while going by their middle name. This is a common thing with Trump's J6 pardons. You have Stuart Rhodes, the eye patch guy whose socket got a break after Trump pardoned him. His actual name is Elmer Stuart Rhodes III, Enrique Tarrio, but his actual name is Henry. Not sure why he changed it to the Spanish version, especially since there's so much of an issue with the language. I don't think it's right for you to judge Melania's documentary without even having seen it. Well, if you actually pay attention, my focus is not just on mocking one of the worst reviewed movies of all time, but digging into how and why this thing got made and the money pumped into the illusion of success, which you've clearly fallen for. You say it's not right to judge Melania's documentary without having seen it, and I don't think it's right for you to have a vote without having a brain. MAGA tears. I stumbled here and saw fake news. Your world were full of deceits and lies. Mine is full of truths and righteousness. I love the classic separate realities defense, the ultimate intellectual white flag waved when reality becomes too inconvenient. If your world is so full of truths, you might want to check the map because you clearly took a wrong turn and stumbled into a place where facts actually matter. MAGA tears. Or the real food grok chatbot. Real food grok chatbot. That is a tongue twister. The FDA's war on raw milk, a crime against public health. Was that too much? I gotta dial it back. I can confirm the Tommy Campbell Show is the best political comedy show on YouTube. And I hope you subscribe.